Good evening, and wherever this Sunday may find you, my name is Walt, and this is Coffee and Concepts on Keystroke Medium. Today, with our returning guest, we have Luke T. Barnett.
Woo!
How are you?
I'm good, except for the coffee.
What
So,
happened? Keep us all.
I leave the house at 10. I leave the house at 10:30 this morning, like an hour before the show, to run out, get some a prescription from Walgreens, and then run to our local grocery store to get some coffee. Which I got the coffee. It's this Two Brothers. It's a store brand.
But it's not ground.
Hazelnut decaf. Because I planned on making bulletproof coffee. You know what that is?
Bulletproof coffee?
Yeah.
This is new to me, so
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So you take your coffee, and then you add I forget the measurements, but you add a little bit of coconut oil, and you add ghee, which is clarified butter.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to like super boost your immune system or something like that. I forget exactly but it's supposed to be really good for you. So I plan on making that. I get home just a little bit before time, and then I pour the beans into the coffee grinder, and the coffee grinder won't work.
Oh no!
So I have a bag full of beans I can't grind.
You know what a good trick for that is?
What?
Do you have a sharp knife?
I do. Yeah.
Put the beans into like a piece of like either like a cutting board, but under the cutting board, put some tin foil and flare the sides so the beans won't escape.
Okay.
And then like dice them like you would an onion.
Okay.
Right, like really finely chopped, like very very quick. Then turn the knife flat and pound it.
Ah.
So that is field expedient coffee grinding without a grinder.
There you go. I will use that.
If you are into like home remedies and medicinals and stuff like that, the other thing you can do, and actually it's a little strenuous, but it actually produces an interesting grind. You can use a mortar and pestle.
Oh yeah. I want to get one of those because there's other things you can grind.
Oh yeah.
You
know, but like I was like, oh, he does not know the field expedient coffee. Looks like I do not know the field expedient bulletproof coffee.
Yeah, there you go. Shared information. The world's a better place now.
Right on. So we have Galactic Core Book 2 coming out from you, and that is I almost said American Boogaloo. We have Artificial Malevolence. What a great name for a book.
Thanks.
Right.
Thanks.
So what I wanted to talk to you today was, how did you get into that sequel mindset? Like you see so many things that are out there, and they either just try to duplicate what was done in the first book, or they try and go so far afield in the second that it's just way out there. So did you have a plan for all three books? Did you have an arc?
I had a loose plan. I don't plot. I pants because I've tried plotting several methods and I just can't do it. I can't come up with ideas. Each sentence I write informs the next sentence of the story. But I had some ideas, and with this book, one of the ideas was to introduce a sentient AI, actually two sentient AIs, a positive protagonist, sentient AI character, and then a kind of like a counterpoint, an evil sentient AI character, which I planned for the entire series, but introducing here. So that was the idea behind it, and then I wrote the story and then came up with the name for that because the evil AI is a malevolent artificial intelligence, so I just kind of combined the two.
So here's the question: what, without giving story, if it's going to give story away, but what would turn an AI evil? I mean, is it like an Ultron thing where it's like, wow, you humans are really awful. Where's the raid? Give me some bug spray. Is it something like that?
In this story, it's just an AI bent on eradicating humanity. I haven't explained why exactly, but it's well, let's see.
Don't spoil. Don't spoil.
Don't spoil. I will say that the evil of man is a big influencer there. So, and my protagonist AI is bent on stopping it and has been bent on it for a very, very long time. So,
Right on. Right on. So, yeah, continue with drafting this kind of book. So you come off the first one, you knew where that ended up, um, and you're a pantser.
mhm.
So, how do you go into that next book?
Well, I get ideas for scenes or things I want to continue, and I start writing out these scenes, and then I expand on those. I try to think about, okay, well, what's this? What are these characters doing? Okay, well, what has to happen? Well, this I want to get this character in there. So I'll start writing the story, like, okay, well, maybe they get ambushed, and then that ambush turns out, oh, this is why they're getting ambushed, and this leads to that, to that, to that,
Right
and
on.
so that's how I kind of write the book.
Right
And
on.
then
Are you
I'll
using a similar process to the Jade series that you did before, or is this kind of, you went a different way because it's new publisher, new series?
No, it's a similar process. With the Jade series, I had written it before, way back when, as a just a four short story series, and I just took that and revamped some of the stories, and then just expanded on them, and added to them, and but with this, it's just a fresh start, and just really a lot of it is what do I think is cool, and
Yeah.
then put that in the story, but in a way that makes sense and makes a good story, not just for fan service, you know.
Right on. Is the crazy gun cat? We still got him.
Oh
We
yeah.
still got the crew from the original.
Oh yeah, we still got the crew from the original.
Right on.
That's yeah, that's I can't get rid of him. He's just too awesome.
Yeah, don't say something like that online, because then you're lowering the stakes.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no. Yeah, no. It's I will say that there is a character that I originally wrote in the first book. I planned for this character to die, and I fell in love with the character, and so I was very conflicted about killing him off. So I won't say any more whether I did or didn't, but it is one of the main characters, so there is real danger there, and I want to make, and that's the challenge, I think, is making it so that there's real danger to the characters, but you keep the characters around that you want to keep around, because one, the fans, and two, because you just love the character.
Yeah.
So I think that's the real challenge of doing that.
So in book two, did these characters, did they change at all?
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So main character Doug, he is a flat out character, and I don't really plan the how the characters are. But I just kind of write them, and then I find out who they are as I write them. Doug is a flat arc, which means, for those who don't know, he basically does not change. It's everyone around him that changes because of him. So, because of his influence, he changes Lonnie, he changes Arch. They start to um, just change for the better, and
Right
then
on.
his enemies change for the worse. But even some of his enemies start to see the light after a while of him just trying to do his best and be the best person that he can be.
Right on. And that kind of inspires the people around him.
Right. Yeah. And they're just like, it's funny because the characters around him will joke back and forth about, like, oh yeah, his morals. Yeah, it's just so annoying, and yet they can't deny that there's something about that just inspires them to do better.
Yeah, I have a friend like that. You might know him, J.R. Hanley.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is adamant that pineapple belongs on pizza. It is it is almost like my wife's agreeing. It's almost like a religion for him, and he is like a rock in the middle of a river. You know, it's
I won't say whether that's positive or negative. I'll just leave it out there.
yep, yep, yep. Hey, I mean, if I'm gonna get pineapple on a pizza inside of a luau, I'll be all about it.
There you go.
So at the end of book two,
Mhm.
where does that leave us so that people are hungry for book three? So you got that like middle book, which can sometimes be like, this is just connective tissue between one and
Yeah.
three, blah blah blah. The The great example that blows everybody out of the water, of course, was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody, even 40 years later, you see reaction videos of like, you know, I am your sister's brother's cousin, and no, somebody who hasn't seen it before, and they're sitting there
Yeah.
going, wait, what?
Yeah.
They'll stop the video and like look around the room, and you know, like even that many things. That's where that line comes from, you know. So it shows that you can have that element that breaks the cycle.
Yeah.
But where do you put your characters at the end of this second installment so that it's not just connective tissue? If people read to book 2 and were like, "I'm good," they'd be good and felt fulfilled, or would they just they're like, "Well, I guess I got to find out," you know, or you know, do they instead say, "This was amazing," and if book 2 can do that, let's see what he can do in book 3.
Yeah. So I've learned a lot of craft between book 1 and book 3, and some of that comes out in book 2. Um, I'm looking back at book 1 now. I'm thinking, oh man, that could have been so much better. But but I hate cliffhangers. I don't like cliffhangers in chapters, at least not too much. A couple of chapters okay, but I don't, and I definitely don't like at the end of books. So I have to make every book have its own closure, but still leave
Good.
questions open for future stories. So at the end of this book, there's the adversary or the obstacle is overcome. Um, but then there's residual effects of that and other things that happen in the story that carry on to the next book. And I think the last scene in the epilogue is you read it and then you think, and it just leaves you with an oh. So
Right on.
just to motivate people to read the next book and to get them something excited about, but not to leave it on a cliffhanger where, oh no, the world's going to end. What's going to happen? See you next book.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that to my readers.
Right on. That's I mean, you see that in so many like people who are trying to establish a series versus like we were actually grabbing coffee this morning, and my wife, they have these where we go sometimes they have these like book drops where it's like, take a book when you come back and leave a book, you know, kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and she grabbed one of the John Sanford Prey novels, right? And that's a perfect example of each installment being its own story.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
so the question here is, say people they see the advertisement,
Hmm.
and because I mean, you know, we can look at this cover, and the cover's fun, right? It's got that the streaking coming in, and
Yeah.
um, but if we, you know, say somebody just on the strength of the cover alone hit buy now, and they don't get that it's the excuse me, allergies.
No, that's fine.
Um, um, but they don't. And I got a cat attempting to kill me in my lap. Um, he's like the character that on your front cover.
I hope he's not like Arch. That's you're
Oh
gonna
God!
hurt if he is.
Ow! Yeah, and now he's biting me.
Oh,
So say people they manage to get this book and they don't realize it's book 2.
uh-huh.
Um, is this also as good a jumping on point as book
Yeah.
1?
Yes, because you can. I try to do like slight, very small recaps in my book so that people aren't like completely lost. Like I introduce like Arch isn't there in the first like 2 chapters, and then he shows up, and so I say, oh, it's a looks like a giant house cat, but this person knew it as an alien called Nakati. So I try to make it where anyone can jump in at any point. I don't know how successful I am at that. I won't know until the reviews come in, but yeah, I try to make as much as I can each book self-contained. I've watched sitcoms and sci-fi shows and all kinds of things that just carry on a plot point for episodes and episodes and episodes and episodes. And I just get tired of watching it. It's like by the time they get to the conclusion, I'm like, I don't care anymore.
What
And I
was that? What was
know,
that show? Oh God, you hear like all the script writers talking about. He just did Soldier Boy and the Boys. Supernatural.
Oh yeah, I never watched that one, so I don't
Supposed
know.
to be 3 to 5 seasons and done.
Uh-huh.
But it was so popular. Like in the first 2 seasons, they had already started up their own convention, and
Wow.
they were walking onto like convention floors, and they were doing the 1960s Beatles thing where it's like he's so dreamy and passing out. So they were like, yeah, we can't. Finally, I think it was like season 8 was the last season or something like that. The writers were just like, yeah, we got nothing.
Yeah.
We got nothing. He's fought God. He's fought the devil. They fought the whatever.
Yeah.
Unless you want to turn them evil, we got nothing.
Yeah.
So,
That's a real challenge. How you up the stakes so much, then how do you go higher?
yeah.
Yeah, I watched like Deep Space Nine. I love Deep Space Nine is a great show. But there was this one arc about Odo and Kira, and it just went on forever. And
Yeah.
by the time they finally resolved it, I just didn't care anymore. And maybe that was the case. Maybe they just like didn't know what to do, and they just kept having to tag it on because they ran out of stuff. I don't know. So
But how do you run out of stuff in a space show?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Seriously, like all kinds of stuff. Well, I
You
got this
know,
big area in the middle of my galaxy called the mid dark, and a writer friend of mine suggested that there was like these nebula in the middle of it, that weird things happen. So, and I teased in the first book that all these weird things happen in the mid dark, and yeah, that's something I like about the second book, is that you get to see some of that weird stuff that happens, and it actually impacts the story and has an impact on the final the climax of it. So that was fun to do, and I want to write a trilogy. Um, I have a character in there that's based on Samus Aran from Metroid.
all right, right on.
Yeah. So I want to write a trilogy that's her backstory, and it's going to be weird space where we're operating a lot in the mid dark, and she encounters these weird things.
Is it going to be a 2D scroller?
Maybe the cover will be. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For those of you new people who have not lived through the 1980s, that's the little like hopping across the screen video games.
Yes.
Uh,
80s and 90s.
so Galactic Core, the Artificial Malevolence, is out right now.
Yes. It came out Tuesday. I think this show will come out Thursday or something. But yeah,
Yep.
it came out Tuesday, so go pick up your copies. I had a lot of fun writing it, and the third book I think is even better. So
Right on.
yeah, so
Yeah, go do the things. So that's out now. When's book 3 going to drop?
book 3 is going to drop July 26th. Yes,
All right.
and it's on there up for pre-order. But I've been told by Athon to encourage people to purchase on the day of release because it helps the book a lot more.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got that. So if you go to tinyurl.com /YC43UAUS, that will take you to where you can purchase that book. Look for that on you said 28 July?
26th.
Book 3? 26
Yep.
July for
Yep.
book 3. And if people want to stalk you on the internet, what's the best place to do that?
You can find my books on Amazon. You can go to my website, luketbarnett.com. I'm on Facebook, Luke and Rose Barnett. I do have a Facebook page. I don't update that too regularly, though. You can probably find me on other media, Bard Up Today. I haven't seen too many of that name, so you'll probably find me on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm on there rarely. Mostly I'm on Facebook, though. So, yeah, hit me up and message me just to chat about whatever. So,
Right on.
Chat.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks for coming out and sharing the morning with us.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's
Absolutely. And why don't you come back for book 3? We'll talk about how to end an arc.
Awesome. Look forward to it, man. Thank you.
That's awesome. All right. So we would just want to thank everybody for spending a little bit of time and your morning coffee on us this morning. If you are devoid of coffee, like because you couldn't make it bulletproof, make sure to run over to keystroke.medium.com and pick up their coffee blends. The big old red button right in the middle, just hit coffee and it'll take you to some really cool blends. My personal favorite is the Roast of Doom, which is a French roast. I like the salty, bitter, and smoky tasting type coffees. So yeah, that's my jam. Make sure to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, all the places. And we'll catch you next time for reading, writing, and a little bit more right here on Keystroke Media. Whew, I can't believe I got that.